Hello and welcome to Len's Kitchen. Today I'll be showing you how to cook kopytka. It's a Polish recipe, and kopytka are potato dumplings. So what I've got is some mashed potatoes in there, and it's only 3 ingredients. It's mashed potato, it's flour and an egg. So I've got 2 types of flour. I've got organic wholemeal rye flour that you have to add some plain flour only because it bonds better. Wholemeal, I've tried to use wholemeal for to make pasta and things, but it's not actually. It always seems to be a bit just doesn't bond ingredients very well. So therefore I add some of this and that. And I would say you add twice as much flour than you've got potatoes, but obviously they keep them on the side, and 1 big free-range egg or 2 Yorker. So hands in, no point using anything else. And because potatoes were already salty, I always put salt when I cook potatoes. There's no need of adding an extra salt here, but add salt to your water, which is already boiling for me in a pan. So I can tell that we'll need more flour, and because egg was actually quite big. Yeah, much more flour. So adding a bit of rye flour. See how it looks like. They are similar to gnocchi, to Italian gnocchi. But in Italian gnocchi you add some starch flour as well as normal flour, or only starch flour, and they are much more chewy than them. I think just a tiny drop and we're done with flour. So what you need to do is just need to form second hand goes in. You've got to form a bowl. And you can actually put it on the table. So make sure you don't waste too much, as they are so nice, and you can serve them in various different ways as well. You can serve them with some fried, chopped bacon, or like bacon lardons, or bacon with onions. People even eat them. My nan always eats them with some melted butter and sprinkle of sugar, if you are more of the sweet tooth. And you can also eat it with cooked cabbage, with goulash. It's really nice with goulash. So various ways. So I'm just going to sprinkle some flour there, and it's quite a lot because it's never ever get, like when you want to prep before cooking dinner, never ever make this before, as it gets runny. It's impossible to make. I've made that mistake once, and it just it doesn't matter how much flour I would put, it wasn't the same, so it was wasted really. So now all you do, you just cut a bit of cut a bit off from your dough, and you form like a snake. And again, the thinner the snake, the smaller your kopytka will be. And you flatten slightly with the knife and cut in an angle. They always get bigger during boiling, so don't make them too big because they can break, and so I would say that's a perfect size now. And they go aside, so that's how it looks like. So they go aside. Actually, I make one more and they can go in the water, which is already boiling away. Right, so another slice, and you do the same thing. Roll the snake. And you know that they're ready in the water when they come up to the surface, and you can keep them on the surface of water for about 3 minutes, and then they're done. You can always pick one out and just see if they are ready, but that's usually about 3 minutes on the surface, done. It's really good meal. It's actually really cheap meal as well, and it's healthy. It's not just floury pasta, it's made out of potatoes. I'll make one more because that's not going to be, so I have 2 loads in my pan out of this. You don't put too much in the water as well, as it's gonna just be one big glog of potato. It's not gonna work. They've got to have room in a pan. And you can see consistency, can you? It's just not. It's like almost like a plasticine, just slightly softer. It's like Play-Doh consistency. So now we open the pan, and you won't see much. I'll just grab the camera. So I'll be putting them in. And you can see water stops because obviously it's a change of temperature now. It stops bubbling for a minute, but then it will start and they'll come up to the surface. So I'll be serving mine today with another Polish traditional dish with bigos, which is it's called hunter's stew, and it's cabbage with few types of meat, beef, pork, some sausage, some Polish smoked sausage, onions, carrots, some dried wild mushrooms. But because when I make big batch of it, I just put it in jars. So I'll be opening one of my jars. So they are cooking now, and I can tell already some of them will be coming to the surface now. You can give them a little bit of stir so they don't stick to the bottom, but they shouldn't. So when they I'll get back to you, I suppose, when they're ready. So I just quickly show you how they come to the surface. See, one by one they sort of pop up. There we go. So from the time they're all there, it's about 3 minutes, and it's time to get them out. And you get them out, don't drain them in a sink, you just use one of them spoons with holes, get them out, and obviously when water starts boiling again, put the rest of them, if you have some left, in the same water. So I'm getting my last kopytka out. There's only a few more left. And then I'm cooking them. I'm putting them in a oven-proof dish only because I am cooking well before dinner. So all you need to do is just put some butter, just few things of butter in between, so they don't stick together, because otherwise you try to then pull them apart and then they break. So just put some butter, and gonna give them a richer taste as well. You can just put the butter in and give it a bit of mix, because they do, and as they get colder, they just stick together. So that's that. The color of mine, as you can see, because I use wholemeal flour, they greyish, like but normally they would be nice. Oh, I missed one. Normally they would be yellowy, like pasta more type of color, a dumpling color. But that's my personal choice to use wholemeal flour because it's a bit better for you. So this is that. I've got also, just to show you there, I've got also some bacon lardons frying there, just to put some on the top, just to garnish. They just look so much better when you do. And so this is that. I'll put a photo of a plate, how I serve it as well. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. That's it for today. Bye!